How excited are you to start training camp tomorrow?
It's out of the roof. I'm working on my game. I'm really confident in myself right now, so I'm ready to go out there. Everything is paid off. All the work, all the late nights, all the early mornings.
Let's be real from the jump. Bronny James still hasn't shown the true NBA-level spark. And this isn't about a learning curve, rookie nerves, or finding his rhythm. This is straight basketball talk. If that jersey didn't have James stitched across the back, this debate wouldn't even exist. There would be no panels arguing patience. No timelines begging people to give him time. No constant narrative protection. Without the legacy, nobody would be calling him a rotation piece or someone you build around. At best, he'd be viewed as a G League grinder, another young guard fighting for relevance, hoping for a call-up, trying to prove he belongs. And honestly, he might still be battling just to stay on a roster somewhere in the system. That's not disrespect. That's how the NBA works. So the real question isn't about his future. The real question is simple: why is he here right now?
Been their leading rebounder 49 times. Bronny gets into the lane and scores.
Let's take the name James completely out of it. What part of Bronny's game actually screams NBA ready today? What's elite? What's special? What forces defenses to change their game plan? Because this league isn't about potential speeches or family trees. This isn't hate, it's the truth from the tape and the stats. And the numbers don't lie. Basketball doesn't care who your dad is. It doesn't care about legacy. It doesn't care about branding. You either get buckets, make stops, and impact winning, or you don't. Simple as that. And here's where it really starts to sting: the double standard. The NBA loves to say it's a merit-based system. Earn your spot. The best rise to the top. We hear it every season. But the moment it's Bronny, the rules quietly change. Suddenly, it's patience. Suddenly, it's context. Suddenly, it's excuses.
You know all about a hyped-up Summer League debut. It took Cooper Flagg a couple of shots to finally get going. What makes him difficult to defend?
He's just a quick, powerful, big. So, we got to do everything we can to, stop him and slow him down. But he's a great player. He's going to get his at some time. So, just got to do a great job at stopping him down.
The moment it's Bronny, every excuse gets rolled out. He needs more time. The system doesn't fit. He's just adjusting. They'll spin anything to keep the narrative alive. If his last name wasn't James, let's be honest, he'd just be another young player grinding for a chance, not someone getting automatic sympathy and protection. Nobody would be bending the rules of criticism for him. Even when he's getting cooked on defense, missing rotations, switching late, standing around while the offense treats him like background noise, it's wild how soft the reaction is. Opponents don't even take him seriously right now. He's not being guarded like a threat. He's being treated like empty space. Then he goes 1-4-12, and commentators act like we just witnessed some brave act of perseverance. Voices get quieter. Heads nod like it's deep. Suddenly it's all about growth, confidence, and learning experiences. Learning experiences? This isn't a local training camp. This is the NBA. These are professionals fighting for contracts, checks, and careers. Every minute matters. There are players who know one bad game can get them shipped out of the league. And meanwhile, Bronny is bricking shots like the rim owes him money, and people still say he's a few months away. It's almost comical. I remember when folks swore Bronny would be a legit factor for the Lakers by year 2. Not a project. Not a maybe. A real piece. Media day was full of grind talk, late nights, early mornings, gave up video games, went vegan, dad turned off the Wi-Fi. It all sounded inspirational. Then preseason hit. And from game 1, he looked lost. 1 for 12. That's not growth. That's regression. There isn't a single league NBA, G League, Overseas, Drew League, YMCA, or your local rec run where you go 1-4-12 and people smile and say, "Keep shooting, young king." That only happens when your last name is worth $1 billion. Let me put it in gamer terms. You play 2K, right? Imagine your teammate goes 1 for 8 from deep, takes wild shots over triple teams, ignores open teammates, and sells the entire game. You're screaming on the mic. You're quitting. You're blocking them. That's accountability. Somehow, the NBA forgot that word. And the decision-making makes it worse. This is a point guard we're talking about, the floor general, the brain of the team. But instead of reading defenses and creating looks, he's forcing shots, driving into traffic, and thinking, I got this. Got what, exactly? That's not confidence. That's delusion dressed up as swagger, and it only flies because the name opens doors effort hasn't earned yet. So ask the real question, what does Bronny actually bring right now? He can't shoot consistently. He doesn't lock up on defense. He's undersized. He struggles finishing at the rim. He can't break defenders down. He doesn't command an offense. He barely creates advantages. He turns the ball over constantly. There isn't one area where you can honestly say, yeah, that's NBA material. Watch how teams defend him or don't. Defenders stand 10 feet off, hands down, already rotating to players who actually matter. That's not strategy. That's disrespect. When stars are literally calling out please shoot, that's humiliation. And when he finally hits one? Listen to the broadcast. That's not hype, it's relief. One make turns into a celebration special. Every miss disappears. The overreaction is insane. And this isn't all on Bronny. The Lakers deserve blame too. Coaches, staff, front office, everyone's complicit. They've given him the greenest light in the league, setting him up to fail in public. Now let's say the word nobody wants to say, nepotism. You can't talk about this without LeBron. His shadow hangs over every possession. Every substitution feels political. What started as a historic father-son moment now feels like a televised family project. This isn't growth. This is overexposure. Every miss becomes a meme. Every turnover goes viral. The internet doesn't show mercy. Meanwhile, real hoopers are grinding overseas, in the G League, in street runs, guys who know one bad game can end everything. They don't get forgiven for 1-4-12 nights. They fight for every minute. Bronny doesn't need basketball like that. This doesn't feel like survival. It feels like a legacy side quest. And when LeBron retires, the protection retires too. The game will speak for itself, because it always does. So the final question is simple. Is Bronny James really an NBA player right now, or just an idea the league decided to sell? This isn't hate. This isn't jealousy. This is honesty. And until the NBA stops confusing feel-good storylines with real production, the integrity of the game keeps taking hits. If you're tired of the double standards and done pretending not to see it, speak up. Drop your thoughts. Keep it real.